Hey guys, good morning. It's September 1st, 2021. I'm Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop FlossTube, and we have a lot of new stuff to show you today. We're going to start off with a brand new cross stitch pattern by Lori Holt. Then we're going to move into stitch alongs that are about to start, and then my weekly progress and show what's new and all that jazz. So it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm very excited about this new cross stitch. It's to celebrate World Sewing Day. So it is called So Happy, and we have a quilt along that's going to also go along with this, and we're going to announce dates a little bit later. But this is a cross stitch pattern, and so the cross stitch pattern is sold as a paper pattern. It will be a PDF, and I'm going to show you kind of what's available with it and what I'm going to be doing to make it kind of a little bit different. So it's a paper pattern, and on here the sample was made by Dana Gonzalez, and when she stitched it, she's also a quilter, she stitched on Lori Holt's 25 count cloud, and then Lori finished it and she used her fabric and rickrack on top of a Hobby Lobby frame. And all that information on the color of rickrack and the skew of the fabric is on the back of the pattern. There are also buttons, and she lists which button pack she used on the back. So she used the 25 count white, and on this one Lori decided to just go with DMC instead of like a secondary option. So sometimes Lori likes to just keep it nice and simple with DMC. So I'm going to show you the sample and talk a little bit about it. So here it is. And so we're going to divide this up into a stitch along, and again the dates are going to come later. We're going to kind of start in this section and kind of go around, but we'll give you more information in the next couple of weeks. But you can go ahead and grab your supplies. So obviously you need the pattern, and for fabric, like I said, this is 25 count white. And since I like to stitch on Aida, I'm going to stitch on the pale gray gingham. So here's my piece. I've already cut it down. Oh, actually the fabric is shadow, which is not cloud. So it's actually it's shadow, which is like a light gray. But I think it would look great on cloud too, but I'm gonna stitch mine on the pale gray gingham because I just don't like to stitch on just a white Aida, and I don't like to stitch over two. And what I did is I went ahead and put all of my DMC on my floss flowers yesterday. And I'm not changing any of the colors, and I put these on her brand new floss flowers that came in. So her floss flowers, these are the new colors. I don't know if you've seen all of them yet. So this is shadow, and this is cloud. So you can do either one of those. So here are the new floss flowers. They're now available only at Fat Quarter Shop, and they're a much lower price. So I'm so excited that this is like the first. I had to use 2 packs, and the way they can package now is like this. So there's 12 in a pack, and the older ones are now discontinued, and it does have like a little zip, a little pocket where you can like clip it, not zip it, but like clip it back down. So I used 2 packs to turn mine into this. And so I just put it in my bag, and I have my pattern in here, another bag of floss flowers, but I'm excited about the new floss flowers because it's my first time using them. So this is how I do it. I just throw everything in my bag. Now on this, what I like to do is when I take my DMC off of the skein is I kind of just divide it into 8 strands, so they come out about a yard each. So I put 7 strands on here and then leave 1 strand loose so that when I start, it's already kind of ready. And then I did do a video, and we released it on organization and how I organize my thread. That one actually hasn't come out yet, but we filmed it. So I'm going to talk a lot about how when I'm done with this, how I put this back into my stash. So that'll be something for you guys to look forward to. And my recommendation on the So Happy 14 count is this one, Pale Gray Gingham by Fabric Flair. If you want a white, then I would just do antique white. If you want a gray, I would do maybe a light gray. I think pewter might be too dark. And then to keep this from unraveling, what I do is just wrap it, and then I use my scissors and just poke it under, and it just pushes it under. So I just use scissors. And the floss flowers are the same exact size as the previous one. She just has new colors. And I went ahead and put this in my book. And so this is my cross stitch journal. And in here, I just put exactly what I put in my bag. And anytime I'm starting, I put everything in my bag and I do my journal at the same time. That way I can remember what I did. And then I put all my DMC colors. And if I was going to change something, I would just put a little arrow to what I changed it to. Now, I don't plan on changing any of these colors, but that's what I do is, I'll see if I can find one that changed to show you kind of how I don't think I've changed any in this book. Oh yeah, here. So like if I change a color, I'll put what I'm going to change it to. So that's kind of how I stay organized. And these are the little DMC sticker packs. We're sold out of them right now, but we have more coming. And I have a lot of them because I reuse them over and over. And we just got this little thing at Target, and I thought it would be cute to just show, like, I am super organized. So there's that. So that is So Happy by Lori Holt. I'm very excited about it. It does have some buttons. And of course, you don't have to add the buttons, but I think the buttons are awesome. And again, all of the finishing information is on the back of the pattern. And this is her fabric. And then I'm going to jump into Sunflower September. So Sunflower September is something I came up with this year, and it's just a way to stitch sunflowers. Now every year I might do something different, so I'm probably not going to do Sunflower September in 2022. I just kind of make stuff up and go along with it, but this one I'm probably going to do once. But the reason I'm doing it is I saw a lot of Stitching with the Housewives patterns that I wanted to do, and so through the month of September, I'm going to just stitch these patterns. So I have a pop-up of my calendar, and we put this on the blog, and this is just a way that I'm gonna each day have a goal to work on each of the patterns. So I have 10 different patterns, and I've divided them kind of how long I think it will take. And so the reason I do that is to just keep myself kind of a little bit organized. And if I don't stay on track, that's okay. It's just kind of a goal. And so if you set your goal, it kind of helps me stay on track. One thing that I did do in my book is I put all my Sunflower Septembers kind of here. So there's, let's see, there's 9 there. And then I ended up adding one down here, Blessed. But I started a new book. My other book is all full. It's all full. So my other book, I have 3 left to finish. And so I am at, let's see, 75, 85. I'm at about 85 projects this year. So that's kind of crazy, but, and I just, when I'm finished, I put my time over here, and that way that's how I know, like, this one's not done, that one's not done, and this one's not done. So, and what I did for the Sunflower September is I just sat and wrote everything down all at one time to save time. So we're using the Autumn Beauties bag. which it actually goes with something that's super awesome that's going to be coming out in October. And we didn't even know that Priscilla and Chelsea were doing the sunflowers, so it just happens to match that. So we released it early, and it also comes with or you can buy separately. I have it upside down. You can buy separately the needle minder and the line keepers. And these go with they were meant for something else, but I actually really like this needle minder. I like the size of it. And it looks good on the bag. So it's called Autumn Beauties because we have something coming out called Autumn Beauties, but it's not going to be until October. So we've got the Autumn Beauties bag, the Autumn Beauties needle minder, and the line keepers. And our specialty line keepers, we just print those once, and we do those with just 2 line keepers instead of 4. But this is so cute, and it's gonna match something else that we did. So what I'm doing is I put everything in the bag. I've already cut a lot of my pieces down. I'm going to, on all 10 of these pieces, I'm going to use 14 count chalkboard black by Witchell for all of them. So these are the patterns. This one is Blessed. It is a completely free pattern on the Stitching with the Housewives blog. So that's going to be one of them. I'll kind of put them like this. This one there is a pattern in here called Buffalo Plaid Summer, and it's rather big, so that's going to be one of them. That's why I gave that one so many days. And then in here I have like thread, extra thread, and then within here I have the thread for each pattern. So this is Calendar Crates August. This is going to be 2 charts, this one and this one. And then these will be the most fun to make because they're going to be quick and easy. So sunflower seeds. I think each of these would take about 3, like this would probably take 3 hours. This would probably take 4. So sunflower seeds, sunflower street, sunflower farm, honey jar. This one will take the most amount of time because of all of the fill-in. It's a lot of coverage. And on Priscilla and Chelsea's video, they did talk about when they made this jar, they did stitch single stitches up and down so that there would be this variegation. So I'm going to actually probably try that. And then Honeybee Lane. And there is also a chart called Pick Your Own Sunflowers. That is a bonus chart in Honey Jar. And I'm also going to do that. So those are the 10 that I'm going to do. And I plan on, Priscilla and I talked about it. She's going to finish them, or actually we talked about different ones, but she's just going to finish them all kind of the same so that, just, you know, she's just going to finish them similar to hers. And then my Christmas ones that she's working on, she's going to finish as ornaments, and you can watch her video on that. She said she's going to do a video on finishing some of these too. So I have everything kind of in one bag. Now, as I finish, I'll just move them out of this bag, but I had them in 2 bags, but I think I only need 1 bag for all of them. And to be honest, what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to pull the pages out, because I don't want to carry this whole magazine around. Let's see what issue this is. This one is the summer 2021. And I'm going to, because I don't want to carry all that. And is Buffalo Plaid Summer from Twin Peak Primitives? No, it is in here. It's by Priscilla and Chelsea. These are all by Priscilla and Chelsea. And let's see. So that is my Sunflower September, and I have it all in the bags. And then our next sew along that is about to start. So this one is just a fun sew along, and if you want to sew along with me, just do the hashtag that we had popped up, and just, you can stitch anybody's sunflowers. It doesn't have to be Priscilla and Chelsea's. It doesn't have to be Lori Holt's. Just stitch any kind of sunflower. I'm just doing it for fun, so I have something to decorate my house with. The next sew along that is about to start, it's actually starting this week, is called Granita, and this one we designed about 1.5 years ago. It's actually based on a quilt, and so it comes as a paper pattern, and of course we will have a PDF in 6 months. So this is the paper pattern, and I've gone over it a couple of times already, but this one is starting this week, so I actually need to start stitching it. So I'll show you the dates that I have set aside for our stitch along. And we divided it into 9. It's pretty big. So I'm gonna start this week, and by next week I should have that first top left done. And we did get a lot of questions on this, and so we put together a thread pack for the blue version. On the back, we also have a red version and a gray version. We didn't do a thread pack, but because we got so many requests, we did put a page with all of the things on it. So if you want to buy the red, you can just click real fast. So there is a link to that page in the description box. Again, I'm going to stitch it in 9 weeks. And this one was stitched by Cheryl, and she stitched this on 25 count cloud. And I put mine in my bag, and this is mine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stitch on the 14 count opalescent, which I've been stitching a lot of stuff on, and we got another bolt and we sold out of it within like 2 days. So we have more coming. We haven't gotten a ship date answer yet, but we do have more coming. And I used the very first pack of pinks from the NPI thread pack. And I keep all of my thread pack on these floss bitties. I actually taped, yes, I taped the color and I taped it on the wrong side. So I meant for the color to go on the back. I just cut off from the skein, like where it says the color number, and just taped it on here because I actually wasn't at home and didn't have my label maker, but I'll move that to the back. And that's how, when I'm done, I do store all of my NPI. It only uses 4 colors. 2 of them you need twice. And I'm excited. I don't know where this will go in my house, but I'm excited because, of course, I love pink, and I do love working with the NPI silk. It's very fun. And this one we had professionally framed we just had it framed at Hobby Lobby. So, and we just did a simple frame, just a simple white frame. We did put glass. So that's kind of, you know, up to you if you want to put glass on the front. I wanted to give a thank you to Wendy at Kusul for the super chat. She says she's so excited to get to watch live today. So thank you for watching. I love that you guys watch. I'm going to answer a couple of questions before I show you all of the things that I spent last week stitching. So, would opalescent work for So Happy? Absolutely. It's just not in stock right now, but it should be in stock soon. We buy that by the bolt, and then we cut it down. So we ordered some more bolts. We're just waiting on an answer on when we'll get more. So the Autumn Beauties will have all the sunflower stuff in it if we wait. No. So, okay, or get it now and the pattern will come later. Okay, so the Autumn Beauties notions go with Priscilla's stuff, but they also go with something that we're going to do as a mystery called Autumn Beauties. That's going to be a mystery in October. So the notions you can buy now, or you can wait, either one. And but the pattern will not be coming out until October, and we will talk about it more like the middle to late September. Ashley would like to know if I or Cheryl or Priscilla would be willing to do a video showing how to stitch with fancy floss 1 stitch at a time. I feel like I waste floss by backtracking over my stitches. Sure, we can actually add that to a list, and maybe Priscilla will do that for us when they come. And then Barbara is asking if 10 count will work for the So Happy pattern. So I need to look at the So Happy pattern real quick to see the stitch counts, and then I'll see. So for 10 count, you need a piece that's 7. Well, it finishes at 7 1/8 by 18 1/2. So I don't think it will fit, because it will not fit on the pre-cut pieces by Lori because it's not wide enough. So I would say no. Are there any cons to putting any, I guess, disadvantages to putting glass on your framed project? I think some people don't do it because it takes away kind of the vintage vibe of it. I like to have frames because I have a whole section where I just don't want my stuff to get dirty and I have too many things to try to keep it kind of all together. Jacqueline is asking, how long does it take everyone to stitch a tiered tray tidbit? I'm starting sunflowers today. So I would say the shortest would be like 3.5 hours, and the longest, that jar will probably take me like 5.5 hours. But maybe Priscilla can comment and let us know how long it takes her. She's probably faster than me. And then Jennifer is saying that she just started cross stitching and found Cross Stitch University helpful on Monday. So thank you. So that one, that is a beginner series, and we started it. We're like at the very beginning stages of it, and each Monday we're going to release a pattern. It's for beginners, and it's just going to cover a little bit each week so that we don't get overwhelmed. And definitely, if you have any questions on any of those videos, just comment so we can answer. Colleen is asking if we're going to have any more Mad for Plaid bags. Yes, they will be coming in September 15th or around September 15th. Kathy would like to know if we have lower count Aida, like 11 count, and do you have different colors? So we have a lot of 10 count, and we probably have 5 or 6 colors, so we do have the 10 count. I would search on Fat Quarter Shop, I would search 10 count vintage cloth Lori Holt, and it will pop up for you. So now I'm going to show you kind of all the things I've been stitching on. I'm kind of in the middle of a couple of different sew-alongs that I have kind of made up for myself. So Stitch-O-Graphy is first. This is a PDF pattern that we sell at Fat Quarter Shop. It's actually only available at Fat Quarter Shop. And for everybody that wants to finish it the way we did on our video with the spool, we'll have more loaded online tomorrow. So on this one, we're using Cosmo, and one of the questions that we do get a lot is, you know, why do we pick a certain fabric, or why do we pick a certain floss? And so we just try to change it up a bit. We try to do something different for each, but Cosmo really has a nice aqua, so that's kind of why we knew we wanted this to have an aqua that kind of matched Lori's paint color, so we knew that Cosmo had one. So thank you to Valeria Bauer for her super chat. She says, thank you for being a great teacher. Well, thank you for watching. I'm still like, I think it's hilarious that people, I still just can't believe that people watch me. So on this one, I'm going to pop up the image of the dates that we selected. And just remember, this is just something that I go by. It's the way. And the reason we're doing these kind of divided out for you guys is so that you know what I'm doing in case you want to stitch along with me. And I do try to divide them up into doable parts where you can actually finish that piece or that part within that week. So I try to kind of think through what will fit and, you know, show it. So on this one, we're going to be moving into week 4. So this was week 3, and this is week 4 is going to be over here, and then week 5 will be down here. And on this one, I had some red thread already out, so I already did that, and I went ahead and did my navy border, so I got a little bit ahead on that. And this is also the 14 count opalescent that I've been using. Now this one, I think what I'm going to do is finish this into a cross stitch bag and do a video on it. So I'm going to wait until it's finished. And I will say that the fabric is looking a little bit like it's a little bit crooked. So what Cheryl told me to do when your fabric gets a little bit off is to do this, and that it'll fix it. So let's see if that, so she said you could kind of do that to straighten it. So that's kind of going to be what we try to do on the video, but we're going to, I think I'm going to do a little bag just so you have a second option. And yesterday, super fun. released a video. It's a different kind of video. We're trying to change up, what we do all the time. We try to be innovative on our quilting channel, our cross stitch channel. We're always trying to do something different. So we did a video of me, it's a time-lapse video at home, just stitching this chart. Now this chart comes with the Cosmo Floss Pack, and it just goes with Stitch-O-Graphy. So we released that video. So if you like that kind of video, let us know. The more comments we get, that if you like it or don't like it, we kind of follow your lead and either do more or don't do more. But that's a fun little video. My hair is a mess. I look like a mess, but that's okay. I hope that you guys watch it. So this took me 4 hours, and I just did a video. And the funny thing is that in the video when I was talking about Chewy's, I was talking about the restaurant, but I think that some of you guys thought I was talking about Chewy's, the dog delivery company, but it wasn't. I was talking about food getting delivered to my house, so that was kind of funny. And then the next item that I worked on this week was Stationery Addict, and I only have a tiny bit more to go. So this is a little dove design pattern, and I'll show you a pop-up I'll show you a pop-up of my date. So I finished week 4, that's on the right. It took me quite a bit. And now I'm going to move to week 5. So week 5 is going to be like right here. And right here, we're going to zoom in and I'm going to kind of show you. I struggled with this a lot. So in the pattern, when I did the cream the way it said and then added the long stitches, some of the cream was showing, so I added a couple of extra half stitches in there just so it would fill a little bit more. But now all I have is the bottom row. So this week I'll probably do the pencils. I might actually do the ruler to get ahead, and then I'll be done. This one I'm definitely going to frame. And on this one, the way I was thinking of framing it was to do something similar to this. I was going to maybe leave a lot of the gingham showing. Well, not a whole lot, but I was thinking of leaving a little bit of gingham showing so that you could see the gingham, and then adding a gray mat and then putting a white frame on it, but having a gray mat, because all the stuff that I've been showing you that I've been getting framed, I haven't been adding mats. So I am always trying to think of different things. So I think I will add a mat to it. And on the crayon, this was supposed to be a straight stitch, but it drove me crazy, so I just did it as an outline. So I would encourage you, anytime you are kind of working on something, make it your own. If you feel uncomfortable with how your stitches are looking, don't feel afraid to just go ahead and, you can change things up just like you can change the cloth or the fabric. Feel free to change things. And I did work on 2 other items. I got a lot done this week. The first one that I worked on was September monthly markings. This one is by Heart and Hand, and it is a 13-part series. So there are 12 months, and then the border is actually a chart. And we sell them as a set. But I started this in January. It was kind of my annual, do something small each month, so that I like to do that, because if you have to tackle a project this big all at once, it's going to feel overwhelming. But if you divide it up by month, it can be done. So this one is monthly markings. This was September. And the only thing about it is I did feel like my roof kind of got a little bit lost, but I think it'll be fine in the end. And what I did decide is I think I'm going to go ahead and just do the frames are all the same for each of the houses. So go ahead and do the frame for October, November, December. Go ahead and finish the border so that as I have to finish, it's just a little bit in October and a little bit in November and a little bit in December, because the border is actually really fun. So this one's been a lot of fun. And this one we did select our own thread So we have a thread pack, and in the thread pack gives you the conversion so you know where each color goes, and it's by month so that it's easy to follow. And we're using, this is Venetian stone 14 count. And our sample that we showed in January is on Venetian stone 28 count. So this one's been fun, and the way I store it is I just roll it up, and then put it in my bag, and then I try to keep my needle this way, because if I put it this way, when I roll it up, my needle will pop out and fall on the floor. So that's monthly markings. And this next one I am so in love with. I am going to be so happy when this one is done, because I love it. And I think this could stay up. I don't think it has to be just Christmas. So this one is called Farmhouse Christmas. It's by Little House Needleworks. There are 9 separate charts that Little House sells. We sell them as a set of 9, and we also sell them individually. This border is a free PDF on Little House Needleworks website. I did change the colors, and we sell a Farmhouse Christmas pack. Now, I have not run out of any of the colors so far, but it is a starter pack, and if you stitch on, like, say 14 count, you might run out of floss. But we went ahead and used the number of skeins that was listed on the Little House website, and that's what we use. But this is for August, and then this one I'm gonna finish in September. So I went ahead and did the border, and let's see, all the borders, so that I just have to fill in, because I was kind of already doing it, and I thought, why don't I do the border at the same time, kind of finish it off. And since Sunflower September I'm going to be really busy, that gives me kind of a little bit of a cheater space. And then now I want to pop up an image of Lori Holt's Kaleidoscope. So this one I finished up last week and showed you. Now I was going to go to the framer, but on Saturday when I called, they didn't answer, so I think they were closed. So I'm going to go to the framer sometime this week. Everything's in my car to go to the framer. So I didn't pick a frame. I told you I was going to tell you the color of frame I picked, but since they were closed on Saturday, I didn't. Maybe they'll be open today and I can go. But this is Lori's, and so she's almost done. So she'll probably be done next week. And it's so funny. She has like 4 needles on her needle minder. And that is her awesome floss keeper. And we're going to be doing more and more floss keepers, so those will soon be collectible. And then I'm going to answer any questions you guys have. So just any kind of questions you have, of course, after the video, you can always pop those in, or you can ask me now. How often do I paint my nails, and what's my favorite brand of polish? So my favorite brand of polish is OPI, and my favorite color is Cajun Shrimp. But right now I have on some aqua color. So I haven't really found like a really good nail place to go lately. So I just get whatever. So if I go and they don't have OPI, then I just pick random colors. And I go once a week. And if I didn't have the videos, my nails would never be done, because like before I did these videos, I never ever got my nails done. But it's actually, I use gel, and it's much easier to cross stitch and bind quilts with gel nails because they're stronger and they're less likely to break. So it's actually a benefit to my stitching, which is kind of ironic. Brenda's asking, when she's done with the Cross Stitch University, will she be able to do Granita? So I think that one might be a little bit challenging. I would maybe move to something easier. I would start with maybe something a little bit smaller, like maybe something that's 50 stitches by 50 stitches. I think the Granita's rather big. Lily would like to know what fabric I'm using for Farmhouse Christmas. So I'm using 16 count beautiful beige for that one. And if I had to go back, I would probably do 14 count, because the 16 count takes me much longer to stitch because I just can't go as fast. Sarah is asking, will the new patchwork cross stitch be released today? Next Tuesday. Do you know when I will be getting more 14 count murky in stock? I think murky might be Picture This Plus. If it is Picture This Plus, that is a 6 to 8 month wait. If it is any other manufacturer, they usually ship pretty quick, and we do keep it all in stock, so we can look that up. But let me know what manufacturer if you can think of it. Are there any pros or cons between using Cosmo or DMC? I've never heard of Cosmo. I find them to be very similar. Cosmo just has a little bit different colors. They have fewer colors, but I just happen to love their aqua, and I don't think DMC does not have a aqua that is perfect, and so they should let me develop a Kimberly aqua for DMC, because that's the one that will say that's the one thing missing, but I think they're very similar products. Very similar. Megan is asking if all the trimming is going to be difficult. It's actually going to be very beginner friendly. So that's a great one to start off with after Cross Stitch University. Very beginner, very simple, and it's going to be a lot of fun because it's going to give you a really cute design without like a ton of effort. Because when we do these sew-alongs, we are trying to vary up the fabric, the floss, the difficulty level, so that we can kind of appeal to everybody. Nisha is asking, when would I use pearl cotton floss? So that's used for embroidery, I believe. I don't think that's used in the cross stitch world, and if it is, I haven't used it. Wendy said she's about to start Granita, but she doesn't recall whether or not you recommend wax with NPI floss. I would not wax NPI floss because it's silk, so I would not use beeswax on silk. Now, I don't know if that's like the 100% true answer. That's just kind of my preference. And now I'm going to show you our flash sale item for the day. And that means it's on sale. Now, this one is one that will be, sometimes after flash sales, we keep the item in stock. And sometimes we discontinue the item. This was an item, it's called Where There Is Life. It is a collaboration between Little House Needleworks and Country Cottage Needleworks. And if you guys didn't know, Little House Needleworks is the mom of Country Cottage Needleworks. And so it's kind of a family business. So one of them is colored for Diane, and one of them is colored for Nikki. I was trying to think of her name. So this one will be, once it's gone, it will be discontinued. And now I'm going to show you the What's New section. And the great thing about the What's New section is I'm going to have a ton of stuff for the next couple of weeks. So this weekend was Needlework Expo, and it was where shops could display their new stuff. So lots of new stuff will be coming out. These are two new PDF charts. This one was released on Friday, and this one was just released about an hour ago. So we've got Hello Pumpkin and Halloween Night. And so you can see that Priscilla and Chelsea are doing, they have a lot of pumpkins, and I'm sure they're going to have a lot of Halloween stuff coming out. These are available as PDFs. This is a new pattern by Little House Needleworks that just came out this week, and it's called Gather Ye Pumpkins. And then this is an older pattern by Country Cottage Needleworks that we had someone, we had a customer request it. So it's an older pattern that we just decided to carry because the customer requested it. And then this is the brand new Jan Hicks pattern. It's a PDF. And so she is using the NPI Club, and she's designing around some of the color packs. So this is winter. This one is summer. And this is spring, and then she will obviously have fall. And what she is going to do is when they're done, you can actually connect all four. Now, to connect all four, you would need to start on one piece. So I don't think she's going to sew these together. I think she's going to restitch it as four, but they're meant to go together. Gathering Acorns is the newest one by Cottage garden. And this one is meant to be a series where you can either stitch it all together or separately. Now, if you did it all together, you would have to use like a 40 count or 36 count because it would be used. But this one's so cute. I think it's cute. The little acorns. These are two that came out during Expo. The company is called The Mindful Needle. And so out of all her designs, we purchased Scandinavian Noel and Liberty. And we really like how she gave this one a different fabric option so that you could do it, you know, think of it outside the box and think of it as it doesn't have to be red and white. It could be blue and white. It could be navy and white. It could be all kinds of things. So it's a way for you. It's great when designers do that. And Plum Street Samplers came out with 4 new patterns for Expo. So this one is Goodness and Thanks. And Bitter's Crow Pincushion, so it has 2 patterns. This one is the Gather In. And this one is a rather big pattern. Lots of sheets. This one is Good Company. So this one would be easy. I looked through it and it's a big chart, but because she gave so many patterns, it's easy to see the design on her pattern. This one is Good Company. And this was Betsy's Autumn Bird and Acorn. And when we were looking at these are great choices for Sunflower September. So sunflowers, sunflowers, sunflowers. So these would be great choices to add for Sunflower September. And just remember, if you're doing Sunflower September with me, you can do just one chart. You don't have to do 10 like me. I'm just kind of an overachiever. And this is a new pattern and a new designer. She's called Salty Stitcher Designs, and this was one of her Expo releases called We the People. And then the Just Cross Stitch magazine just came out with their Christmas ornaments. So the Halloween edition is now sold out, and the Christmas ornaments, they will be, it's kind of a one and done. So when you get them, you get the amount that you get, and then we can't reorder. So there's some cute ornaments in here, and I'll show you. This is the table of contents, which gives you kind of a feel of the designs that are within, and there's 97. And it does tell you in the table of contents which designer is on which page. So if you have like a favorite designer, you can flip to that page. And then when we started carrying fiber on a whim, we basically picked a certain amount of colors and we ordered them in the different sizes. And so our 40 count shipment just came in. So these are 40 count. And I cracked up when I was looking at them because we're going to zoom in. I cannot see that hole. I don't even know if I could see the hole to do 40 count with a magnifier. I mean, really, like, if I was stitching this, I would have to like pull it. I mean, how do you see those holes? So this is amazing. I'm always in awe at everyone who can stitch on 40 count because you can get such a beautiful piece done. I just don't think it's something I will ever even try to attempt to do because I would be blind. But we are trying to add, for people who do like samplers and harder things, more things for them at Back Quarter Shop. And Katie is asking if we will carry the new Hands On Design project bag pattern. Yes. So we ordered everything from Hands On Design, and when we ordered her cross stitch pattern, she's also selling the quilt bag pattern for the person who designed that. And as soon as we get it, we will show both. And we did order quite a bit of those. I do think that her stitch pattern is going to be one of the most popular from Expo. Tracy is asking if I'm going to have a second course at Cross Stitch University. Oh my gosh, I mean, we just started. So we'll probably do a second series like in a year or two for like intermediate. But we are going to space them out so that we have enough like content for our channel. And then Amy is asking about the Farmhouse Christmas border chart. So that chart you can find on the Little House Designs website. and that part is free. And I wanted to let you know that on next Tuesday, which is September 7th, I'm going to have Stitchy Talk, and that is going to be on this channel. And what I do is I just bring one of the items that I'm currently working on. So we decided for this Stitchy Talk, we are going to stitch with Stitch-O-Graphy. So during that, I'll probably talk about thread changes and how to count over. And that's a great way to just come and chat, and you can bring your stitching and stitch with me. So I look forward to that. I do hope you watch my video that I released. I have already released 2 videos this week. So Cross Stitch University, and also I released a time lapse on yesterday. So I would love for you guys to watch those videos. I want to give a big thank you to Suzanne McCallan, who gave us a super chat. And I want to thank everybody for watching. I've had such a great morning with you guys, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye.